Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more Westworld. This is Season 2, Episode 8. Last 3 episodes of the season, and Bernard has been found out. William nearly died at the hands of Lawrence. Lawrence died. Maeve is dying. Everybody, Angela died. Clementine died. Oh, lots of death. Excited to see how these last 3 episodes wrap up the season story and what kind of story they push forward for the next season. So yeah, if you guys want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started. William clinging for dear life. I theorized he'd be found by his daughter. And oh, Ghost Nation. Still don't know what exactly they're trying to do. Kick.
I remember you.
Uh-oh. That's not necessarily a good thing.
What's this?
The ghost gave it to me.
Just hang on. Hang on, okay? Just hang on.
Has he actually grown attached to her, or is he worrying about using her abilities to control other hosts?
No more corpses up here. Take her to cold storage.
She doesn't belong down there.
Then leave her in the hall. We've got 50 hosts in the queue for analysis here. Everything else goes on the dumpster.
She can control the other hosts with her fucking mind!
Kiksuya, Yana Chanko Dog Shop Luha.
Mechante ki yuhayayo.
Michante King Yuyanyo. Ehan wa Owayanke Dakuki Yudoksha.
The mace is on the table.
Chama hewa naho. Hey tokai ha anuni. Jawa uni hongya. Ashe honi. Trompi akewa un. Ashwa lehanta. Yata duwe eumpi. Liena.
Logan?
Otherwise, you're gonna be drowned.
Logan.
There's got to be a way out of here. Where's the door? This is the wrong world. This is the wrong world.
William broke him so bad.
Tohani wa akachnige ashle itoka wa Ash ewan blaka.
Of course.
Ishta.
He woke up a long time ago.
Shoka ka okata ohini. Ihahe yeya chetokecha eyaye. Tiopaki.
What? The thing everyone is searching for now? With her.
Ashtohani he uyushta uchinshni.
That is terrifying in the dark. What happened to her after everyone woke up?
Michate ki yo away.
I'm Shante.
Gorgeous scenery.
Vanatiopa Ahmaki.
They hit it?
Tukta Kiksuya Ukitatayao Yachino Okabli Asele Yasha Keo Yate Uwichianka.
How she even make it out this far? They're not supposed to get anywhere near this sector. That's behavior's problem.
And he comes back to steal her away again. It's not her anymore, is it? A ghost. It's kind of heartbreaking.
But on my darkest day, you helped me. Tiwae otai tohea. Kanishni iyaye. Oa blazaki. Nishna lashni. Oa blaze. Wanagi wani tawa chalua. You talk chopi se lechecha.
No.
Oicha la kago.
Ja. Yes, mitä hojatiki.
Echunuhana. Hey, yeah, so wayalo.
Get taken down there.
Ashtan ko ito. Mitawa ki owa chia owale. Ichiata, huh?
It's not pairing. What build is he?
Alpha 2.
Alpha. You're telling me that this host hasn't been updated in almost a decade?
We only update them when they die.
He hasn't died in over a decade. That's her right there. Is it? That'd be ridiculous, right? Now, I've said in the past that Ford knows everything that's going on and he's aware. Every so often I'll be like, did he know about this?
Mishnala chante mayaza. Dohani mishnala mitawa washni.
You don't deserve this. You deserve your daughter.
Can't be in here.
What the fuck happened? You were supposed to fix her. What's gonna happen with her? Well, that'll be up to Charlotte Hale.
Tokahia wichasha mitawa ichu. Takwe. Wayanko kika. Nakama.
What the heck?
Chichiya keki wachi.
Oh.
Chumpi. Ukimpikta.
Holy crap.
Owe unkagwish. Ani kaka. Umpeto iyohi. Hijani taya. Duaesha. Koini awani klaka. Yunkaha ebi wanji wichasha ki akipa. Duato kia ishtimapi.
Holy crap.
I've been watching you.
Of course you have.
It appears you've been watching me as well. From the beginning. Analysis. Where did you first see this?
When the Deathbringer killed the Creator, my primary drive was to maintain the honor of my tribe. I gave myself a new drive. I believe there is a door hidden in this place. A door to a new world.
When the Deathbringer returns for me, you know to gather your people and lead them to a new world. Keep watching, AKACHETO. For a while longer.
There's so much to think about after this episode. Oh.
Fiorwahi. Hey, takuya hey. Kihe mishnala michawa. Ate michawa.
Yazawi Chin.
Non pita guwaji unchi.
Get up. Get up.
I've always kept you safe, and I always will. Yeah. Wa oki yakteshni. Iomi akecha.
What's about to happen? I can feel one more big twist before the episode ends.
With every reset, a host's code reaches out to other nearby hosts and establishes a sort of handshake protocol.
A mesh network.
Exactly. They access it subconsciously to pass basic data to one another. Nobody in this entire park has been able to regain admin access.
Except for her.
Except for her. Reading their code, changing their directives, seeing through their eyes.
She wasn't just doing it out there. She's doing it right now.
What?
The fuck is she talking to?
Ni hantash. Onkia yeya. Dehanshni daya nahi.
Holy crap.
Ni shantiki. Yuhayai.
Wow. Whoa. That was a mind-bending episode. Holy crap. So she can do it long distance. She can talk to them, give commands long distance. So this wasn't the episode I was expecting at all. I thought we were going to continue with some of the storylines that have already been established, and yeah, here we are with this episode about AKACHETO. I mean, the episode gave me chills. It was just so good. I'm going to try and do a little less recap in the commentary, because I mean, you guys know what happened in the episode. I'm just going to try to give more of my own thoughts in the future. But anyway, it kind of blows my mind, but if we take Ford's word for it that Dolores was not sentient when she shot Arnold, and I think that's a pretty simple argument to make, then it's very possible that AKACHETO was the first host to gain sentience. And I mean, I should have known that the Native Americans in Westworld were some sort of sentient because of one of the first mind-bending twists in the series when Maeve drew I think it was the Butchers, and she found many more of those drawings hidden beneath her floorboards, and then she saw that Native American kid holding that doll that looked exactly like it, asked what it was, and some bystander said it was some part of their lost part of their religion. So they were clearly ahead of Maeve, that much is for sure, so I should have known, I should have been much more aware of their sentience going back to then. But again, this episode shows that AKACHETO might have been the very first host that gained sentience, which, absolutely beautiful episode. He found the aftermath of the deaths of those two founders of this place. Arnold, after Dolores killed him, he saw the maze there, and then after Ford has his talk with him, he saw Ford after his death as well. And, you know, I'm only realizing this now, but okay, so we didn't see AKACHETO without his Ghost Nation makeup until this episode, with one exception. So I didn't even make the connection until now, but the guy who originally spoke with Logan, who introduced Logan to all the hosts with Angela, that was him, right? That was AKACHETO, right? Which, like, I didn't make the connection between that guy and the person who was, like, walking by Maeve's window. I didn't make that connection with AKACHETO in his previous appearances with his makeup. So yeah, he's been everywhere. It's just, we finally get to learn more about him. And yeah, we see much later Logan went face to face with him again, and he doesn't recognize him. And he's so far gone. He's so far gone. And I totally thought we were done with Logan after hearing from older William in the future that I think he OD'd. But it was kind of nice seeing him again, just because there are so many connections with AKACHETO and all these other moments from this show. I love all these details, love the show. And AKACHETO searches for Logan again when he finds this door, which I think we're meant to believe is the Valley Beyond. Looks like it goes really far deep and has a lot of high-tech stuff inside. Don't know what that's about, but I'm happy we'll be finding out very soon, hopefully. And we also get Akacheta's backstory about his love for Kohana. Take my heart when you go, take mine in its place. Honestly, how beautiful is that? And then he's separated from her when he came upon the maze after Arnold died because he became obsessed with it. And he has to kidnap Kohana, which I was freaking out a bit until like she started remembering everything. I was just like, oh, this is not a... But I guess there was no other way to make her snap out of her current loop and just remember things from the past. And using that line, take my heart with you, take my heart when you go, using the line to wake her up, that was really great as well. And they couldn't find the door again. He tried to bring her there and it's gone, so I don't know if Ford hit it or something else. And is it also the thing that William built, the weapon he referred to, or is it also the thing that Dolores wants? Yeah, after they wander for a long time, QA finds her and takes her back to the Mesa, and after so long, Akacheta embarks on this like desperate search for her, scouring the lands for her. He went to look for her again in the village, but she was replaced by a ghost, which is a very interesting word to use, given that they are the Ghost Nation, or part of the Native American tribe is Ghost Nation. So it's quite something to be a ghost to the Ghost Nation. And yeah, it's just super sad, heartbreaking, losing her like that. And oh yeah, I'm like 99% sure that she's played by the same actress that was in the 4th episode of season 1 of The Mandalorian. She was quite memorable there as well. But just like, we as human beings can never feel just the severity of the heartbreak that he must have gone through, because hosts, like with Dolores and Bernard in the past, when they remember past loops, past memories, they remember it perfectly, clearly, as if they were living them in that moment. And in the case of Dolores and Bernard, there are even sometimes hallucinations and overlapping, and sometimes they can't even be sure if this is now. So that could mean that for 10 whole years, it never got easier for Akacheto without Kohana. Just like 10 years of the worst day of his life. I mean, as a sentient being, how do you not lose your mind? How do you not lose yourself in that? I mean, I guess because he is a host and there is some, I don't know. As long as he doesn't malfunction, he can't really go crazy, it seems like. So I guess that's one upside, but can you imagine living the worst day of your life for 10 years? But yeah, he fights so long only to realize that he needs to die to be reunited for her. Find out then that he hasn't been updated in 10 years. So for 10 years, suffering that long, walking through the whole portion of this world that viewed him as a threat. Other hosts were immediately wary of him, probably attacked him at a whole bunch of points. Guests probably wanted to kill him as some sort of part of some sort of thrill ride a bunch of times. So yeah, he survived through that, all of that. And after all that, finally getting to her in that cold storage, he realizes that she's not in the host body anymore. And I don't know, is she, can they be brought back at some point? We remember when Lee Sizemore went to get Peter Abernathy at the end of the last season, all the hosts were gone from cold storage. So where did they go? And even if they find the body again, she's not in there. Her soul, her being, she's not in there. So I'm just hoping desperately there's some way for him to be reunited with Kohana. The cradle could have been something, maybe, though I'm not sure how often it's backed up, and if the backup would be of Kohana or it would be of the ghost that replaced her. But that got blown to hell anyway, so I don't even know. I mean, there has to be like an end game for Akacheto, right? Finding her somehow. Ford must have known how much he loved her, and he, in his own way, showed a lot of compassion for them. So, I don't know, maybe he kept a copy of her in the Valley Beyond for him to find. He did keep a bunch of Bernards in his bunker thingy. I mean, this whole heartbreak thing gets to me. Just, finding someone who you love so much and loves you back, having a life together, that's difficult enough in many cases, but to be separated twice and the second time seemingly for good, I just want a happy ending for them. And yeah, for the most part of this episode, AKACHETO's story felt like it might have been completely isolated from the other stories, because while we've seen the Ghost Nation around, I think the most we've ever actually dealt with them is when they asked Maeve and Hector to hand over Lee Sizemore. But I was excited anyway. I was just like, okay, let's see how this adds another layer to the rest of the story that they're going to tell this season. And well, of course there's that, but then they also tied back so much to everything else that's happened so far. Maeve's daughter helped him stay alive when he was near death, and he remembers that for so long and always wants to repay her, to protect her, and to help her gain sentience. And we've seen so many times AKACHETO in that window slowly coming into that house with Maeve and her daughter, and given how menacingly he was, and how when the door opened it became William, like of course we would think that AKACHETO was a threat and had killed Maeve and her daughter in like previous iterations, and turns out it was just for a completely different reason than we thought. Intentions can be blurred in this world, so he was trying to wake up Maeve's daughter, to offer up the maze to her so that she could become sentient as well. And in the past we've seen, this was set up a long time ago, because in the past we've seen William kill the daughter, Maeve's daughter, and Maeve shoots him and she carries her daughter out into the field and collapses in the middle of the maze. And so we finally know what that was all about. Oh man. And him, AKACHETO coming across Ford as Ford Design, no doubt. There was a moment in the episode where I was just like, previous to that, where I was like, Ford knows everything, right? Like, he should know about this too. But I had just like a little modicum of doubt. But of course he knows everything. And Ford tells AKACHETO to gather his people and lead them to the new world once the Deathbringer returns for him. Which, Deathbringer has to be one of the most badass nicknames ever. So, the Dolores is the Deathbringer. But of course, this plays out exactly as Ford imagined. So, just how far ahead did Ford plan all of this? When did he speak to AKACHETO that time? Was it a decade ago? I'm not even sure. And in the present, they have William tied up and everything. They treat his wounds because they want him to stay alive so he can suffer. And William's daughter comes for him and they let him go because she promises to hurt him just as much as they would, which is kind of hilarious. And I'm actually not sure how truthful she's being. Though she wants him to pay in some way, but I don't think she actually would hurt him like that. But I don't know. They let him go even though I don't think it's plausible that she's going to hurt him that much. But yeah, so William got saved just like that. I originally thought he was going to be found by his daughter, but he got found first by the Ghost Nation, and then his daughter. A lot of other storylines this episode. Class Clown, Resident Goofball, Lee Sizemore actually has a pretty serious scene in this episode. I wondered how much his saving Maeve was because of the code inside her and how much it would be useful, and I wasn't sure if it was that or how much was him empathizing with her because of how hard she fought to be with her daughter. And it turns out it's both, it seems like. And it seems it's actually more about caring for Maeve. And seeing this Bobo's heart like genuinely break for Maeve was quite something, because yeah, they're kind of making me like this guy beyond just having a good laugh at him. He actually really, really cares about her well-being and her just being able to find her daughter again. And later the Tech and Lee realize that she's not only able to control hosts when they're nearby, but also at a distance. Except she's not actually controlling AKACHETO, because he would choose to protect Maeve's daughter anyway. But I've been wondering if there's a limit to this distance in which her powers work. Apparently not. And of course she says, "Take my heart when you go." What a perfect way to end this episode. Just yeah, it was wonderful. I'm gonna give this episode a 9.5. It was just really, really solid, and I do hope that Kohana, there's some way to get her back. I already theorized last episode that the thumb drive that was in Peter Abernathy's head was not data on the hosts, but actually data on all the guests. So it's not in there either. I don't know where a backup could be unless Ford specifically made a backup for her. Which, I mean, he has compassion for these hosts, and I mean, there's a chance he did something to allow them to reunite at some point. I have to believe that. As psychotic as Ford is in some ways, he does feel for these hosts. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this reaction. Leave a like. It really helps out the channel. If you want to watch the full reaction or you want to watch episodes a week early, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.